since I've talked to you, and I know we don't talk enough, but it's good to hear from you. I think you're pretty dope, and love the things you've got going on. Put up a post today about I'll be happy when blank. And a lot of people responded to that post on Facebook. If you haven't, you can respond here on this video. But when blank happens, I'll be happy. I think that was the phrasing that I used on the post. And I got some really awesome answers. You were pretty truthful. Many of you said, when something material happens, when I win the lottery, when I get more money, when I get some time to rest was another good one I remember. A lot of people said when I get to heaven. So I wanted to talk about happiness just for a little bit, what it means to be happy and the pursuit of happiness. You've heard that from the founding fathers of the country. They put it in the documents, the pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That's what we're supposed to be doing every day when our feet hit the floor, trying to pursue a life that makes us happy. It is a right that we have, the pursuit of happiness. But based on some of the answers that I got and some of the answers that I gave myself about when I will be happy were external, meaning when somebody else does something, when something outside of my control happens to make me happy. And that bothered me when I thought about what it meant for me. If my happiness is dependent on somebody else, then I'm not in pursuit of happiness. I'm letting happiness find me. My happiness is happenstance, so to speak. If me being happy is outside of what I can control, then it's not up to me, and that's no good. The pursuit of happiness is you actually going after happiness, going after a feeling of happiness. And when you can't find happiness without other people bringing it to you, then that's a problem. So I talk to myself, and I'm talking to you. What is the thing that can bring you happiness? Now, I know that's a spectrum of answers there, and I'm prepared for them. But you know you, and I've asked this question before too. What is it that can make you happy? Even if you only have 2 minutes, what can bring you some happiness in those 2 minutes? Because it's not necessarily, when I say I want to be happy, it's not a feeling of happiness that's just going to last me the rest of my life. I think we're all old enough and mature enough to know that that doesn't happen. Life has seasons, life has ups, life has downs. Sometimes we're happy, sometimes we're sad, but I think we can always climb out of that sad place or depressed place to a little bit higher, and then maybe a little bit higher, and then maybe a little bit higher still. But we have to pursue it. We have to find it. We have to get happy. So just for a second, what can you do that will make you happy? Briefly, if just for a minute. Short-term happiness. What can you do to pursue short-term happiness? Now, a lot of people like me like to golf. Not very good at golf, but I enjoy it. When I get out there and I'm able to relax and have a good time, I enjoy golf. That brings me happiness. What is it for you? Some people like to cook. Some people just want to be alone for a few minutes and have some time that's all theirs, some uninterrupted time. That's what brings you happiness. Inventory that. Write that down. Outline that. Keep it in a place where you need it. If you can find 5 things that bring you happiness, keep those 5 things on deck so that next time you find yourself in a funk, okay, what do I need to do right now? I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 to get me out of this place. And then later on, we'll see what we can do to bring us up even further into happiness. We are pursuing happiness on a daily basis. Long term. Somebody said, I'll be happy when I get out of debt. Somebody said, I'll be happy when my student loans are paid off. Okay, even with that, if that's what's going to make you happy, then what's the plan to get there? If we know that'll make us happy, but we aren't taking any steps, any action towards obtaining that happiness, then that's going to have the opposite effect. It's going to make most of us more depressed. So if you want to get happy, if you want to obtain that goal that you've set, maybe more long term, what are we doing to move towards that goal? Write that down. What are the steps? What are the plans? Maybe I can't get to step 3, but I can start. I can do step 1. Recently, I got back on the weight loss program that I was working on, E2M, Eager to Motivate. It's on Facebook, and I've been in it before. I've had a lot of success, and getting back into the program, it took a lot. I fell off. I got out of the habits that they espouse in that program, and I fell back into some other habits. And guess what? The weight fell back on. So now I'm in the process of trying to get that off, because I think I will be happier at a lighter weight. I don't think that's the ultimate goal. I don't think that one thing is going to make me happy for the rest of my life, but that is a goal that I'm moving forward. So what's the first step? Well, the first step is to start at step 1, eating right. And then there's a whole plan that they lay out for you within that. So following that plan, that is how I'm going to satisfy that weight goal. So whatever it is, short-term happiness, long-term happiness, if you are not there, if you don't feel like you're there, what are the steps to get there? Take those short steps so that you can get a sense of satisfaction. And then don't stop. Keep moving towards those big steps. Life can be tough sometimes, and sometimes it's difficult to figure out what makes us happy. And when we are stuck, that is probably for most people the most uncomfortable situation. So knowing yourself, figuring out what it takes to move your dial, what it takes to float your boat, and then move towards that thing is, I think, the best thing that you or I can do to get ourselves to a place that we are happy in. When blank happens, I'll be happy. What is that blank in your life? And can you get some happiness now, in this moment, in this second? What are those things that satisfy you? When I get into a funk, I can't see beyond what's right in front of me. I can't see beyond where I want to be. I focus on what I don't have. I focus on how things look terrible, and that's the worst way to view life. That's the worst kind of perspective to have. What are some things you can do to shift your attitude? With the Apostle Paul, I've learned to be content in all things. I think that is the key to true happiness. Can you be content? Overjoying, heart filled with happiness, that's great, but it's a process. Sometimes you have to get to contentment before you can get all the way over here to extreme bliss and joy and happiness. Where can I be content? Yes, this isn't going right. This is not the way I'd like for it to be. My kids are doing this, that, the third. But I am content that blank. I am content that I'm breathing. I am content that I have mobility of my limbs, whatever it is. I am content that I have a brain. I am content that I have people around me who love me. Whatever you can find a little contentment in, that is going to lead you down the path to happiness, in my opinion. I don't know everything, so if I'm wrong, call me on it. If you don't think it's right, call me on it. It's up for discussion. But I want all of my dope friends to find happiness. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for going with me on this journey. I appreciate you taking the time to listen to the things that I have to say, and I hope that I bring you some value in these conversations. If I do, make sure you hit the like button and share it if you feel so moved to be, so that other people might get some value from it as well. Hope you have a dope day, my friends. Talk to you later.